Let's say that you can't make payments. What happens then? The creditor will contact you, likely multiple times, to try and work out a payment plan. Communication is the key here, so make sure that you're honest about your situation and willing to work with them. At this point, it's good to have clear evidence of your financial situation. Make sure that you have a record of your outgoings versus your income. Have it on an income and expenditure form so that you're in a position where you can prove that you can't afford the payments. You can't be forced to pay more than you can afford, but you must be able to prove it. If you still can't come to an agreement, then your debt may eventually be passed to a debt collector. This in-house debt collector is owned by the bank, but operates under a different name and company number. They'll try and prompt payment, sometimes by sending you intimidating letters, but don't let it scare you. These letters are system generated and they're sent to thousands of people. It's essential to keep all communication with debt collectors in writing so that you have a record of everything that's discussed. Throughout this process, it's vital to focus on your needs and your family's well-being. Prioritise having a roof over your head, food on the table, and taking care of your loved ones. Here's an interesting fact. Debt collectors buy debts in batches and can pay as little as 3p in the pound. So let's say you owe £1,000, then they buy the debt for a mere 30 quid. That's crazy, right? They're essentially buying the rights to collect your debt, and they'll do their best to get you to pay as much as possible. That's how they make the money. But remember, they paid a fraction of what you owe, so there's really room for negotiation. When you know this, it becomes your biggest bargaining tool. When dealing with debt collectors, it's essential to set up an agreement and continue making those token payments. Remember, the longer you make the payments, the more the debt devalues. This is because debt collectors often factor in the time it takes to collect the debt when they purchase it. So, the longer it takes, the less they're making on their investment. If you're wondering how much to pay, it may be wise to budget and work out what spare cash you have monthly and just set up a dedicated direct debit or standing order so that you don't even have to think about it. Let's say you set it up for 30 quid. Over a year, that's £360. Work out how much they could have bought your debt for and you'll realise that you're already in a better position. So where does this lead you? Well, eventually debt collectors will try to settle at a lower amount. This is where your negotiation skills come into play. You have the power to get the best discount possible, but it takes patience and persistence. Don't be afraid to stand your ground and push for a settlement that works for you. After all, they're still making a profit, even if they settle for less than the full amount. You have nothing to lose, so push back as hard as you can. If you're thinking this sounds too good to be true, I get it, but trust me, I've seen how this process can transform lives and lift the weight of debt off people's shoulders. It's not easy and it takes a lot of work, but the results are worth it. A full and final settlement can be a great option if you have access to a lump sum. You can write to your creditors yourself and there's no need to hire a solicitor. The money for the lump sum can come from various sources like refunds, redundancy, payments, selling assets, inheritance, relatives, or even your pension if you're over 55. It's important to know that you don't have to offer the same amount to all of your creditors. If you have a limited sum, it might be a good idea to pay off one creditor. Keep in mind that full and final offers are more likely to be accepted if you've already defaulted on your debts. The longer you've been paying little towards them, the lower the offer your creditors might be willing to accept. When making the offer, use a sample letter like the one from National Debtline. Add an explanation about where the money's coming from and include an income and expenditure sheet. Make sure the creditor confirms in writing that they accept the money as a full and final settlement and won't sell the remaining debt. The key to writing off your credit card, loan and overdraft debt in the UK is understanding how money and debt work, being patient and negotiating with debt collectors. Keep making these token payments and remember that time's on your side. As the debt devalues, you'll be in a better position to negotiate a settlement that works for you. I also want to stress the importance of staying informed and doing your research. The more you know about your rights, about the debt collection process, the better equipped you'll be to handle any situation that comes your way. Keep the Financial Conduct Authority Handbook, that's 7.3.5, handy, and I'll make sure that I link to it below this video for you. Another crucial and critical aspect of this process is self-care. Dealing with debt can be incredibly stressful, and it's essential to take care of your mental and emotional well-being throughout this journey. Reach out to friends and family for support, practice stress reduction techniques, and try to maintain a positive outlook. Remember, you're not alone, and there are resources available to help you. 1 in 2 adults with debts have a mental health problem, and 1 in 4 people with a mental health problem are also in debt. You can see how shocking those statistics are. So, if you found yourself in that situation, then I need to talk to you about the Breathing Space scheme. Now, not everybody qualifies for this, but it's a government scheme which freezes your debts for 60 days while you seek professional help about your debts. It's a good way to get a pause on your financial situation so that you can come up with a solution to then move forward. I want to encourage you to share your experiences and learn from others who have been in similar situations. Join online forums or support groups, attend workshops, or connect with people on social media. Sharing your story can not only help you heal, but also empower others who are facing similar challenges. You may have heard other people writing debt off from an IVA or bankruptcy. There are lots of debt solutions available, but your unique situation will dictate what you qualify for because everybody's debt journey is different. If I'm totally frank with you, they all have pros and cons. It's just a case of finding out which one, if any, is most suited to you. I'll leave a link below the video with an attached form, and there's a handful of multiple choice questions. If you fill it in, I'll put you in touch with a company that I've partnered with who can help you talk you through your options. I hope this information has helped you. Writing off credit card loan and overdraft debt in the UK may seem like a daunting task, but with the right approach, patience and persistence, it's possible. Keep learning, stay strong, and remember that you have the power to change your financial future. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with more valuable insights and advice. Thanks for watching.